So what I wanted to say, hopefully the audio is okay because I'm like walking on a street, but is a percentage of profit now that they're kind of like giving that to you is not really like the real percentage of profit. You can just basically look at it as a stock of sorts. So if you sell it before it expires, then you would have profited, but this percentage of profit doesn't take that into account. So let's do just, I don't know, this is like my very small account. There's so many tools with so many brokerages these days, and now that I finally got more acquainted with interactive brokers, options is way dangerous. I'll show you how I messed up 1 year for sure during some like Trump week, like Trump news week back in, I think it was 2019 or 18, and I totally messed up my Robinhood a bit, and like I think it was down 9K like during that week, and so I felt terrible. I forgot to take some screenshots because I was like curled up in a fetal position, like crying. No, actually not crying, just feeling numb and dumb. But okay, anyways, let's do one here. But the point being, options are way more dangerous in a way. I'm just gonna kind of put it on the low bar, actually even lower than that, because they fluctuate a lot. My point was the percentage of profit doesn't necessarily have to be that. If you're vigilant, you can take it before it goes out of the money or before the profits evaporate. You just have to like kind of day trade it, or you don't have to wait till it expires on Friday. So that percentage of profit is the profit when it expires on Friday. And of course, you can always roll it, and we can discuss that later, but let's just do this, and it's probably not going to get filled now, but maybe let's look at the chart. So AMD, I wish I was trading, let's see, Moderna, too bad I held that long a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's still on the downtrend a little bit, but you can see this one candle here is maybe this might be a point because of this one longer wick here. But it looks like it's on the downtrend semi-steadily. Let's go like a little bit more granular to 3 minutes. Yeah, it looks like it's quite possibly decreasing still. But we can just watch this candle in real time if it's struggling to go up or down. But I'm going to guess it might go down a little bit more. I wish I just held this when it was like $6-7. I was like flipping out. But anything under $10 or $50 is going to be more volatile than something over $100, and I don't know why it was like so underrated a few years back, but it's cool that I made a bunch on it though, but like not as much as I could have, and you always kick yourself. It looks like it's semi-promising, so you know what, I'm just gonna grab an option here too. This could be a small candle. We got to watch this. I don't know, it looks kind of promising. I'm just gonna put a lower. This is a cross, so it's still kind of like hesitant. Is this going to keep going down to maybe this level around 135.5 or 136? Or is it just going to kind of pop up? And looks like it's probably going down a little bit more. So I'm going to keep that low limit option. I'm not doing some crazy calculus. So I'm guesstimating of sorts, because I think that's the only way you can practically trade it. Even with so much uncertainty, I do think you can get an edge if you're like a advanced calculus major and you actually like program a lot of this like options, like reverse Black-Scholes magic equation. But I think for all intents and purposes, for all instances and purposes, whatever the phrase is, it's actually like super difficult to really use those in real time. And even the most advanced hedge funds usually don't beat the index funds. But I do think if you're vigilant and humble, you can, just by those two things, get an edge of sorts. So it looks like it's going down, so I don't need to change my limit order. There is, for example, this has an option chain as well. So this is like the bid-ask spread on the options. TD Ameritrade has this too. So we can kind of look here. So when we look at this, you can see the calls and puts at this particular level. I put like the next, did I even submit this order? Okay, yeah, 125. So, okay, also Robinhood, which is the only free options platform, basically tells you how I know it was like $600 here because I was like, I swear I won't use it, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave like $600 there. This is like my options training or like day trading kind of training. Here you can do good till cancel. I'm gonna put it a little bit lower because it looks like it's going lower, and the options chain looks like here for, I did November 12th, right? Calls and puts. So you can kind of analyze, okay, this is my first time looking at that, but it looks like they give you the Greeks on top, the theta, gamma, delta, and it's kind of nice, but it's kind of like dizzying. Open interest, implied volume. These two are more important. Yeah. So TD Ameritrade does the same thing, but it gives you like the time in sales, which is like the live stream basically for options. So let's look at that. So let's look at ThinkorSwim AMD options. Been more buy and holdy though, like a little bit more for this time. But I mean, I hold these guys long term. So it looks like this is probably the best part. I mean, the best guess. And then here's the VWAP. So that's another point of support. And I would be safe if I were to buy near right here or even here because it can drop a little lower than that. Let's see. Okay, so price, goodness. Options. Level 2 is like your real-time buys and sells. Okay, there's some random people talking down there and smoking. Welcome to LA. So we're over here. So this is where like ThinkorSwim has this more dynamic. See how all the numbers are changing? It's usually just a bid ask. They also have the delta implied volume. This is like more kind of, I would say, practical in a sense. If you're really day trading it, it gives you a bit more of a edge of sorts. Of course, nothing is certain, but I have realized that if you combine charts and these things, it's almost intuitive. It's hard to explain exactly, but you just look at when there's kind of like higher amounts of numbers popping up. So let's say we did the 145 call. So 145, obviously that's going to be a little bit higher, but I like to do that because you have less money at risk this way. So if you put like $400 at risk and you don't pay attention to it, boom, poof, 400 gone on Friday. If you just, even if you're like way out of the money with like quote 20% or 5% profit, you're only risking like $5 or whatever, a fraction of what you would be risking otherwise. This is really more for day trading options, but that's like, yeah, in a way riskier, but in a way less risky. Similar to what you would be doing for stocks, it's that you have to basically monitor it way more because it fluctuates more. So depending on the instrument or ticker, it can be worth it or not worth it to kind of trade options. So first, with multiple time frames, I like to look at the daily chart for a longer term perspective. So here you can see a strong uptrend that looks like it's mid-trend, but there's still a bit more room to run. So we were kind of right about that. Well, it touched right here around this support level, about 136. And who knows, it might go up or down a little bit for the next day, but I'm banking on like neutral, and then we'll have to see another day because on the longer term charts, it's like hugely up, but it's, yeah, kind of tenuous. And on this, it looks like, whoa, it could go up more, but it just really depends. I think obviously it's been trending up for a while, so it could have a little bit of a correction at any time. So here are the notifications Robinhood gives, which I like a lot. I think they've changed that. And this is kind of how the position's done, which is good. You can kind of keep your eye on the top left-hand corner for the timestamps. And so actually just within about 30 minutes, it's been steadily increasing quite a lot more, so that, it's gone up another 500 or 50% for a total return of 150% ish, or just with buying one option less than $500 or around that amount, returning $1,000. So not too bad for a day of holding towards the end of the trading day, and then flipping that the next day for a grand total of holding, say 4 hours, but overnight. Cool. So that's what I got for you today, and hope to do more of these live trading lessons. It's just that it's somewhat distracting, of course, to your actual trading, but we'll see what we can do, and catch you next time.